Holy shit, Raith Rovers won a game of football. So, the Rovers actually won a game. They beat Airdrie yesterday, which is pretty mental. Which I wasn't expecting, to be honest. We went 1-0 down and I thought, man, I thought it was so over. No. But then we scored a goal, and then another goal, and then another goal. We scored 3 goals in a game. The Rovers scored 3 goals in one game.
This is better than sex.
Oh, Ian, Ty Montague. Give that guy a statue. Alright, maybe 30 seconds is a bit brief to summarise a whole game of football, but that was pretty much my emotions throughout the game. Honestly, first half was, from my point of view, it wasn't that bad, but it was pretty brutal to watch in the final third. We just could not score at all. We had one big chance from Innies Cameron from a corner, and another clear-cut chance again, another one from Innies Cameron, where he just couldn't get the ball in the net. One where he skied it over the bar. It was a difficult position looking back at the highlights, to be fair. But the corner one was just the brutal one. You're like, oh, so close yet so far. It's the story of our season, we can't score a goal. And then the second half starts, and then Airdrie just kind of come out, and they look much better than we do. And we did have some chances beforehand. It seemed to be mostly Airdrie. Airdrie go forward, they score a goal. And I'm at that point going, I guess our season's over. And we lost the 6-pointer. And we didn't, somehow. We came back and then we scored a goal from Innies Cameron from a corner. Another corner goal, but it's a goal, you know. And another goal from Kai Montague from a corner. And then from open play, we scored a goal. So, you know, you've got to be happy with that, don't you? And to be honest, I looked at this, you know, my pal was looking at the stats, and he basically said, look, we had 15 shots, they had 8 or something like that, 8 or 9. Lower than we did, basically. We doubled the amount of shots from what I remember. And I didn't know how much we dominated the game. You know, 63% possession. It didn't feel like we had that much of the ball. It didn't feel like we had like a full-on plurality of the ball. It just felt like we had half the ball with time, and then the other half Airdrie had the ball. But I mean, looking back in hindsight, we definitely had more possession. I've seen Airdrie fans complain about their defence. I didn't really see defence problems. There was some times where, you know, maybe they could have cleared the ball from the first goal in the corner, but other than that, I didn't really see any problems with it. It was just a case that they probably just gave away too many chances, and then of course you lose the game by that. But for us, that's a massive win. Now if we go and beat Partick Thistle, now of course Partick Thistle are second in the league. However, we do seem to beat them at Starks all the time, so I'm feeling quite hopeful for this game. We should be, I'm not going to say okay, because we've still got about 6 more games to go after that. And the other teams do as well. So, you know, you've got to play them all to the best of your things. And there's going to be the massive last 2 games of the season, away to St Johnstone and home to Ross County. The home to Ross County one could be a 6-pointer theoretically if things don't go well for us in the next couple games. And we're in that bottom 2. If we want to stay in the league, we'll need to win that. Now, I don't know what's going to happen, because we've got Partick Thistle will come, and then Airdrie United on the Friday, and then I think we're away to Arbroath. So they're not the easiest games in the world, let's say that. You know, Partick second in the league. Yeah, they've maybe kind of fallen off a bit in the title race, but they're still a really, really good team, and they still drew with St Johnstone last Friday, or last Saturday, this last Friday. Well, you know what I mean, right? The last game was a draw with St Johnstone. Yeah, Arbroath again, flying high. They beat Queen's Park yesterday, thankfully. Unfortunately, Morton got a win, so, you know, Morton are still level on points with us. They could still go above us if we don't win next week and they draw next week. So, yeah, I don't know who they're playing next week, now that I think about it. I don't know who a lot of the other teams are playing next week now. I know who we are for the last games of the season, but I've realised I've not kept up with the other teams, which is a bad idea. I should do that in my off time. But, yeah, honestly, good game. At this point of the season, you do feel a bit more hopeful, but it's only one game, it's only one win, and there are still problems in there, like, again, just not being able to put our chances away. And if it's another game, we had a chance to score a 4th goal, and it didn't happen. I think it was skied over the bar. I can't remember who. It might have been Cameron. I think it might have been Cameron or Chin that put it over the bar. But yeah, I mean, that was a game. But in my opinion, Montague and Chin, please start them at some point, because they be looking good. Yeah, that's my rough summary of the game. What I'll probably do is I'll probably watch the highlights and give you a sort of shorts video of me just sort of talking about going through a couple of highlights and saying why I thought they were important. But yeah, here you go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Everything's turned from shit into gold.